as I say, you tried to do it as quickly as possible because the longer you were doing it, the more people were involved and the more likely it was to get out the secret. Ali took a bit longer, I think, just because it was huge. When we got the okay, I had to go and see his very beautiful young wife. And he was making a film in Natchez, which is in Tennessee, with Chris Christopherson, a television film. Freedom Road it was called. And of course he was on location, had taken a huge mansion with his entourage, Ali entourage, his very beautiful wife. And in London it was arranged that I would go to Natchez, and at such and such a time I would have the interview with Mrs. Ali. And of course I got to Atlanta, Georgia. I think I changed planes there, and got to, I don't know, somewhere in Tennessee anyway, and landed there at about midnight, and I'd hired a self-drive car. And I remember that I went there and I said, oh yeah, he said, the car's a Buick out there. I thought, don't believe that, I have to get to Natchez, which was about 150 miles away, I might say. And of course the terrible things in America, the posted, it doesn't say names, it says north or west or south or east. I bleeding know if it's north, south, west or east, you know. So she gave me a map, and I'm in this Buick, which left-hand drive, you know, which in those days, you know, no idea where I was bloody going at midnight, not a sod to ask, it's unbelievable. And anyway, so, and I remember stacked heels, those flares trousers and stacked heel shoes, they weren't in America. I looked at Pratt. I had these stacked heel shoes with sequins on them and flared trousers, they weren't in America. I looked an absolute pillock. And I was trying to find a way, and if the odd person I saw, I'd say, can you tell me the way to Natchez, please? With a voice for a start through them. And they didn't know the way to Natchez anyway, I didn't care. And I saw some farmhouse, not they set the dogs on me, so that was it. I didn't got anywhere, I hadn't got to Natchez by then. So anyway, for some, I don't know, mystery or fluke, I did get to Natchez. I was staying at the Prentice Motel, I remember that, in Natchez. Dead glad to get there, I might say, too. I got there in a small house in Philadelphia. And of course had this appointment with Mrs. Ali, which I was told to confirm and check it was okay. And it wasn't okay. I mean, she was fine, but, you know, filming, schedules change all the time, and he was sometimes there and sometimes, of course, I couldn't be there. So, oh my God. So I had to wait in this Prentice Motel until she could see me. And of course, there were no mobile phones in those days, you see, so I had to stay where a phone was so that she could ring me and say this, that, and the other. Anyway, I did get a call saying she'll see you such and such a morning. Fine. Drove up to this rented estate, and I'm there, and I have an appointment with Mrs. Ali, and Mr. Ali mustn't know. Well, the first thing, I walked there, a gun is jabbed in my back by one of the security men. They called, what are you doing, Mohammed Ali, for God's sake? What are you doing? And I can't say, I said, I've got an appointment, Mr. Ali, but you mustn't tell Mr. Ali. Well, they thought I was having an affair. She would choose me above Muhammad Ali. I think very improbable. But you try telling anybody that. So I'd say, you mustn't tell Mr. Ali. So someone guarded with a gun and went off and came back looking very bemused. I said, well, yeah, she was expecting it, but, you know, you can't do it now, so and so, you have to come back, she'll ring you. So that went on for a long time. Not her fault, but, you know, anyway, eventually I did manage to see her. And I did catch one sight of him. He was going there, there was Muhammad Ali in his prime, I might say, and I thought I lived in fear that the door would be kicked down, you know. You after my wife, no, Mr. Ali, no. One of those things. Anyway, I did eventually see her, and she was fine. And we got all that going. And then, of course, had to start the whole saga, going right across America, all the people he met and done that. And Angelo Dundee, you know, his wonderful trainer in Miami. God, that's how I fell down the stairs in Miami. I remember that, getting off the plane. And, yeah, I tripped down the stairs, fell on my luggage. And then I'd hired a car there, and they pulled up the boot for me to enter, and of course the boot went smack into my head, so I remember that. So I wrapped bandages around my head, and oh, God almighty, it's a sight to behold, believe me. But an incredible, incredible show. Of course, met his wonderful mother, Odessa, and believe you me, he has a personality, and genetically, straight from Odessa. She was incredible, I can't do it. Yeah, she was on the phone to people. Come on down here, no, this man's come all the way from, he wants to see you. What are you talking about, but he wants to see you. You have to bang. She was, I told you about, she did the American research. She was wonderful, Odessa Clay, this wonderful mother. And his lovely aunt from Ohio, who was a barber, she was wonderful. She was doing the hairs, you know, and cut that sort of thing to her. Oh, God, I can't go to London. She's frightened. I remember Odessa. What do you mean you can't go to London? Get yourself here, bang. You know. Oh, God, she was wonderful, that woman. And the wonderful thing on this show, if you look, I saw it the other day. I looked at it a lot, actually. It's one of my favourite shows. Well, it's my favourite show. I looked there, and they're coming in, and there's his aunt, there was the barber, and his mum, and his dad, and his school teacher, and the whole lot come in, you know. And he says to Eamon, "You paying for the fares for this?" Because he was falling about, you know, he loved it. It was, oh, a lovely show. And what a, again, a job, what a privilege to meet Muhammad Ali's family and get them to take you into their confidence and that.